We're back. So, I came back from Japan, and I was hungry to try to get back there. And I was trying to figure out how can I get back to Japan. And my oldest sister and my older brother, and to a degree my younger sister, they all had gone to YWAM Maui. And my oldest sister actually, on her DTS, got sent to Tokyo. And something moved in my heart where I was like, I never wanted to do YWAM, but I asked Nicole, like, we were walking on the beach, and I remember just asking her, like, what's YWAM like? And she told me, and I felt like I'm supposed to do that. With the hope that I was going to be going to Tokyo, with the expectation I was going to be going to Tokyo. And so I applied and got accepted. And when I got to YWAM, I'll just jump to it. I didn't get sent to Tokyo. I got sent to Borneo, Indonesia, in the middle of the jungle, in the middle of nowhere. And I'm still trying to figure this out. YWAM at that time for me, I'm still trying to figure out if it was good or not, honestly. I think it's good because God showed me glimpses of who I truly am. But I think I still walked in so much brokenness that I didn't believe in any of those truths. I still walked in a lot of rejection and loneliness and things like that. And there were incidents on that one where, I got staph infection in the first month of being there. And I was in the hospital for like a week, and like no one came to visit me. My brother did once. Thank you, Johnny. And then one of the hardest things was when I came back, one of the staff even said to me, like, they didn't realize I'd been missing for a week. And for someone who's battling like their own worth and value, that hurt. And it wasn't anything like intentional on their part. It was just, yeah. And then stuff happened on outreach where God, I think, started to show my leadership qualities, but I really struggled with it because I didn't believe in it. And there are a couple other things I don't feel are appropriate to get into, but ultimately, when I left YWAM Maui, I was grateful for the experience, but I had no desire to be back. No desire to go into that. And there's some hurts and frustrations. And after coming back, I was about 21. I started to look into how can I get back to Japan. And nothing opened up. Nothing seemed right. Nothing worked out. And so the next thing I started to think was like, okay, well, I'm in my early 20s, and all my siblings, well, most of my siblings, 2 of them, found their spouse through YWAM. And I was like, and got married around this time. So I should probably follow suit. And I'm just going to jump to the gun. I've never been in a relationship. I am 34 years old, and I've never been in a relationship because I feel like the Lord has challenged me in a lot of ways, or he's guided me a lot. And I wanted a relationship at that time really badly. And at that time, only one person had ever expressed interest in me. And I liked her too. But then the Lord pretty firmly told me, no, this is not meant to be. Don't do this. And so I immediately said, it was like, we can't do this. And then after that, no one showed interest in me, and I never really had an interest in anyone. And so I started going through this period of like, well, Lord, I want Japan, but you won't let me have it. I want relationship, but you won't let me have it. And I started to get very angry at God. I started to accuse him of a lot of things. And this began a nearly 10-year fight with God, where I was filled with so much anger towards the Lord and hurt, but still so much recognition that the Lord was real, and so I couldn't walk away. And I only went to church because of obligation to my parents, but I didn't want to. I didn't read the Bible. I didn't worship. I didn't do anything. I struggled with pornography at its max during that time because I felt so worthless and valueless. I felt like I was not worth being loved, not being worth being cared for. I didn't know who I was. And yeah, I really struggled with a lot of things. And in that time, I think it's okay to share, my parents started struggling financially. And I was blessed with good enough jobs, so I was living with them and helping support them. And whenever it was asked, I still wanted to honor my parents, so I never told people that I was living there to help them, like support them. I just said I'm living with my parents. And also, people need to know this, I enjoy video games. I enjoy art and all those things. And nothing screams failure, at least in America, North America, more than a 20-year-old man living with his parents who loves video games, comics, monsters, Godzilla, and is single and has no relationship prospect or anything like that. And so I felt like a complete failure because the world told me I was. And no matter what I did, I always felt worthless. And I remember there'd be times when I'd be working where I would listen to worship music and I would try to pray. And I couldn't get words out of my mouth because it just felt like I was too worthless, too valueless. And, but the Lord would always give me grace somehow. And during this time, I started to become very, very depressed. And I contemplated suicide a lot. I could never, because of knowing the Lord was real, I could not act on it. But I'd often would just sit in my car and just wish and pray that someone would hit me or my brakes would go out. Because I just didn't want to be there anymore. And I started to eat a lot and drink a lot of soda. I would eat food to the point of being in pain just because I didn't want to think about my life. And I got up to about 265 pounds. I don't know what that is in kilograms, so sorry. 265, 270. And I remember just feeling so worthless and like a failure. And every year, I would go on this thing of just January to December, just feel like going down this slope. And then every December, I'd watch It's a Wonderful Life with my parents, and they taught the part where he's talking about like the value your life has and how you affect everyone around you. And that always put things in perspective for me and give me a reset for the year. But then it would just be a whole cycle. And this went on for almost 10 years, maybe 9. And it was hard. It was really hard. I struggled horribly with the Lord, and I just did not think he loved me. I just thought I was some kind of joke to him. Like there was some kind of joy he'd get from me suffering and being in pain and feeling lonely. And I lived in a kind of a victim mentality, and I blamed a lot of other people and things and there was just things I would not own up. And I would not walk in the authority that I actually had, or the truth that the Lord would speak into me. I just didn't believe it because I walked in so much brokenness. And then December 2015 happened. And in that one, I remember the 2 of the days I value the most of the year, especially during that time, were my birthday and Christmas, just because I got to be around people that I knew loved me. And that birthday, almost everyone, except for my brother, Johnny, you took me to yakiniku, love you, bro, was not around for my birthday. And so I was very lonely. And again, battles about my own value and worth started to come up. And then that Christmas day of, I got like the flu or threw up horribly. And I spent that Christmas alone in my room. And I just remember just feeling so just worthless. And I went to go take a shower, and I walked out, and something you should know about my 20s, there's not many pictures of me because I had grown accustomed to hating the sight of myself. I was filled with so much hatred every time I'd see me in pictures, see myself in the mirror. So I actually avoided those things. Because if I saw myself, I just would be like, you are a disgusting piece of, and you're worthless. I would speak curses and death over myself more than anyone else. And so after coming in the shower for the first time in a long time, I just sat there and stared at myself in the mirror. And there's no other way to say this, but the voice of the Lord spoke through me and said, David, you are not the man you're supposed to be. You need to get your life back together. You need to reclaim it. And I did. I was like, all right, Lord, let's do this. How do you want to do it? And yeah, I will take another break and then I'll start another video and I'll explain how I did it.